Hey Mohit, hi Shafali. You guys are early. Sahil, nice to see you. What's happening, guys? I'm waiting for Atul to join in few minutes. I just came back live quickly, so let me check with him. Okay, I think Atul is here. Let me quickly get him online. You. भैयाजी आ गए. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
hi Jitesh. Hi, how are you?
Atul, great. How are you? Good to see
I'm
you,
fine,
man.
yeah. I'm same here, same here. Finally,
So finally, we get to do this. So
yes, yes.
Mohit is
It's
calling you.
Mohit sir. It's been pretty long. We've been missing you rides. तो अभी तो virtually है जो कुछ भी है. But yeah, it's good to see and
Yeah,
talk to you guys always.
I think me and Mohit like quite are in touch. Cool. Yeah, I think there are a
Okay.
couple of people have already started joining in. I think we can start. I've been
Yeah,
live
sure,
for a
sure,
few.
sure.
So, hey guys, once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Here we have Atul from RPM India. Atul, I don't know, like most of users, don't know about, us. So let's introduce quickly. People know you from your nickname, also the Bhaiyaji on Instagram. But
Right.
I think it's interesting to hear from you, more about you and how this whole thing, started to take life. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. So hello guys, thanks for joining in. I mean, it's amid of all this serious situation out there. It's pretty good to speak your heart out whenever given an opportunity. So my name is Atul Pratap Singh. This the Bhaiyaji is just an Insta handle. It comes from from my roots. I belong to the state called Uttar Pradesh. So that
Okay.
Bhaiyaji has always been with me since I moved to Delhi for my further education, and then of course business and entrepreneur thing, and startups happened to me. So RPM India is one of India's fastest growing motorbiking community. I'm proud to be a member of it. I'm one of the co-founders with it. Of course, there are other 4 5 members, without of which this vision of ours wouldn't have had been a success, which is currently.
Absolutely.
So we have got more than Jitesh, more than 16 chapters operational at the moment, with over 13 to 14,000, in fact 13,000 plus registered rider with us. And in fact, the
Okay.
best part is amid this this Corona crisis also, a lot of bikers and everyone has kept their faith in this passion, and they had been joining us into different chapter of
Absolutely.
ours. Delhi is one of them. So yeah, this is pretty much it. So RPM is growing because of because of its fan, because of the people like you and I who has been supporting
Absolutely.
this initiative. And I'm glad, the vision which uh, we were planning, in fact, almost 3 years now. It's been 3 years now.
Yeah.
I'll quickly give you the idea. I mean,
I
this
think,
this
yeah, it
must
would
be a
be
question to.
interesting to know like why
Yeah.
RPM. What was the idea behind it? Why did you guys started this? It's very interesting
Right. So
to know.
yeah, very simple stuff, with even without getting into the nitty-gritties of it. When you talk about a problem statement, no, you talk about biking culture across the globe, and there
Yeah.
are only 3 to 4 platforms or communities that will hit your mind. To start up with, Hogs, of course, Harley Davidson is one. Then
Absolutely.
there is D rats and all that stuff. So the consolidation of all these clubs is something that is very very tricky. Hasn't happened yet. And
Yeah.
India is diverse, and India has a lot of groups in the cities at state level and all that. But
Yeah.
what we wanted to pivot, what we wanted to start was a pan India culture of a brotherhood,
Yeah.
of a sense of belongingness to a brotherhood,
Absolutely.
which we thought that was missing. One umbrella under which a lot of bikers could proudly come and say, "Hey, boss, I belong to
Okay.
this fraternity. I belong to this group." Uh, and what fueled this passion was a lot of us, biking and food goes hand in hand. So
Absolutely.
so 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 this community's idea was that we will try and create as many as chapter as possible, so that if any of the chapter member from any part travels to another city and he wishes to meet like-minded biker
Oh,
brothers,
lovely.
so there should be RPM available. So right now we are already in 15, 16 cities.
Okay.
You go to Ahmedabad, you go to Pune, you go to Shillong, you go to Guwahati, you go to Chennai, you'll find RPM there. So
Okay.
it's like an extended family that we have. They care for us. They support all the initiatives that we take, and it's a very very synchronized, I would say, action. Of course, the planning and ideology are the different stuff. But when you go on
Absolutely.
ground, the execution, I believe, has been pretty much on the point, to the point.
Lovely. I have a couple of questions, here. Like one is
Yes.
like, is it for super bikers only, or there's any entry barrier to join RPM for that matter?
So,
Because a lot of groups are specific to super bikes, or brand specific like Hogs, as you know. So what
right.
differentiates RPM?
Yeah, we do not want it to be a brand specific community.
Okay.
We welcome anything that comes with an engine and two wheels.
Oh
Of course,
wow.
a moving object. The idea was
Okay.
the group was founded by the superbike owners. But again, we wanted everyone to be a part of it. So the best part is, as I had been mentioning a lot, it actually gives me a lot of kick whenever we talk about this. So our members from, for example, Shillong and Guwahati chapter, or even for that instance Bangalore, have a lot of scooty riders with RPM India.
Oh,
And those
awesome.
all scooty people are like almost 100% decked up, jackets, pants and boots and gloves and everything. So that was the vision which we actually had. And we did not put any CC capping or kind of BHP capping
Absolutely.
to the
Yeah.
community. It starts from 75 cc, 100 cc, and it goes as high as you could probably imagine, 2000 cc, 2100 cc, whatever
2000
it is.
CPUs.
Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear, because I think there are not many clubs in India which has such a diversity of bikes in India. I have not seen, honestly, from me. I think I've seen clubs with super bikes and Royal Enfields. That's all about. Or I have seen
Right,
bikes which only have
right,
super bikes or only have Royal Enfields for that matter. But I think it's very very interesting for people to join from any category from of bikes into the ecosystem. So why bikes? Like,
right.
what did you got attracted to? Like, you got attracted to bikes, like motorcycling in per se, and
Yeah.
what brings you into that ecosystem or into that brotherhood, so called?
So Jitesh, motorcycling happened to me at a very early stage.
Okay.
It's a very old story. Whenever my final exam used to get conclude, so I used to put a
Okay.
condition, to my parents that I want a gift whenever there's a last exam. I want
Yep.
I always wanted a gift. And my fond memories are such that at every summer vacation I used to spend it at my village. So I
Okay.
used to rush like a wild, tamed animal. The moment my final exams are over, I do not even wanted to, come to my home from my school. I just
Okay.
wanted someone from my village to come and pick me up from school, and I just want to go to my village and spend 2 months, 2.5 months summer vacation, chilling out, playing cricket. Mango orchards are there, fishing and all that stuff. So pretty
Crazy.
rooted. Yeah. So what happened was I think I was in eighth standard, seventh or eighth standard. My final exams were there, and I came back from school, and I was like,
Okay. Uh-huh.
Uh, yes. Okay, so I said that I wanted my gift, and he said, okay, one of my friend was moving out, and he had a moped which he was about to dispose of. So I
Okay.
just took it from him, and I think that you should ride it in the village and start learning it.
Okay.
And that moped was that chain wala moped, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can
very
cycle it as well.
yeah. So there were a couple of brands that time, Hero Majestic was there, and mine which I got was called Ankur. So Ankur was
Oh
a
wow.
pretty famous moped that point of time. It only used to have 2.5 liter of petrol tank,
Okay.
and so I put my feet on Ankur when I was in seventh and eighth standard, and since then it just got stuck somewhere deep down in my heart. And the gradual progression kept on happening. So from Ankur, I started riding my father's Splendor, Hero Honda Splendor. It was earlier.
Yeah. Yeah,
Then
yeah.
then I moved to
I think a lot of
Pulsar.
people start from splendors and passions, their first
Right.
bikes, and then gets
I know, I
gradually
know,
to
I know.
bullets and super bikes. Yeah.
But today's the youth, they have got exposure to much more powerful, better looking,
Oh yeah,
gorgeous looking
definitely.
bikes. KTM's are there. No, I mean, not to forget, TVS is now is into a different sector. A
Absolutely.
lot of bikes for that instance. But at our time, Splendor used to be, just getting a key of your father's bike or your brother's bike used to be like, a jackpot. And with all that thing that we used to cherish, that whatever little time you get on those two wheels, that stayed with us. So
Absolutely.
my gradual progression was like this, that from Splendor, then I moved to Pulsar. Then the Charisma happened to me, and after Charisma, that's where you realize that you have grown too big.
Absolutely.
The responsibility factor hits you in, finally you have completed your post graduation. Now you need to look for a job, or you have to settle in with a business or whatever you prefer. So I think that point of time, I took a break of around 5, 6 years. It was a long break.
Yeah.
I had my bike, but I literally didn't get a chance to ride it. And finally I sold it off, and then Daytona happened, all of a sudden, after 6 years. and
Absolutely.
and and with Daytona, I had been lucky enough to meet the other friends and family from RPM. Most of people whom I met, this RPM got founded, and this family kept on getting extended. So this was the idea, and this is how biking happened.
Lovely, yeah, lovely. In fact, from me, I remember those days when I think Bajaj introduced Passion, and then Pulsar
Right,
also. I think those are the times that
right.
it was a shift from normal looking bikes to a bigger segment. And they had 180cc, which was like game changer that time. And then they introduced 220 RS, I think that time. And that was a rave. And of course, Charismas and that Hero's Charisma was something people were looking after, and a lot of people started their real biking, I think, from that bike.
Of
Uh,
course, I mean that point of time, what I could recall is, biking was about Yamaha RX 100. It
Absolutely.
was about RX 135. It was about Suzuki Shaolin and Samurai.
Yeah, even
It
Kawasaki. I started with CD100. I think CB100 or
Right,
CD100 Kawasaki. That
right,
was
right.
the first bike I started
And
riding.
and then then Hero Honda actually with CBZ actually
Yeah,
changed the game for a lot of bike riders here in India. And then
absolutely.
that uh, I think Caliber 115 and Hoodie Baba and
Yeah.
all that stuff
Yes.
came, and then this Macho Pulsar thing happened. So I mean,
Yeah.
the country has also seen. While I'm talking to you, I realize that I've grown too big now, pretty old. In last I mean 15, 20 years, a lot of things has changed. A lot of exposure is now
Absolutely.
here. Uh, for us, biking was only being used to travel from one destination to another, and now it's all about your liberalization and that sense of freedom, joy, meeting people,
Absolutely.
networking, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's changed a lot and it's changing continuously. I mean, we are still at the beginning of this whole riding culture in per se, like as compared to US or other countries in Europe. So the culture has started to form, but I think we have long way to go to get that
I I I I
unity in terms of
I
bikers.
agree with I agree with you on that, Jitesh. In fact, you were talking about this market of I would not call it market. This entire stage of biker groups, biker clubs, and biker community. Uh,
Yeah,
they've been led by either the city wise groups, or it has been led by the brand owned groups, and in between that we found our synergy, that either you
absolutely.
have this bike, or if you are a member of this city group. We just wanted to debunk this thought, and from the day one. So in fact, we do not uh, go and promote any individual biking company or biking brand. We do not do it. So we
Yeah,
we are there for everyone. We are there for everyone.
makes
Anyone who
sense.
thinks
And
that they have a little bit inclination towards biking, we are up for it.
And I'll tell you, like from my experience, when I started into the Royal Enfield, I bought my Royal Enfield, I think first one in 2007 or 8, when they had recently,
Okay.
when that time they have launched the new UC engines. Remember the green ones
Mm-hmm.
and the new age Royal Enfield when they had new avatars.
Right.
So that
Right.
time
Right.
there were, in that Royal Enfield segment, there was only one club which was known as Delhi Bull Riders. So there were a couple of
Right.
groups here,
Right.
but Royal Enfield's focus, there was only one group which was very, very famous in NCR. But I think the
Right.
brands also haven't done justice to this. I think, except Harley, which came around in 2013 or 14, no brand
Mm-hmm.
has given that attention to the community building of their own brand. Of course, in Royal Enfield also every dealership has a mandate to run rides and take care of their riders. But I don't think
Right.
in India brands have done justice to that. They
Mm-hmm.
have some of them have been trying last few years, and that there's a gap, I think, which I think RPM completely fills that void of any bike of any brand can be part of a group, which is
Right.
which is
Right.
really, really interesting.
Right.
And I think it is changing now when we progressing to the next phase of the whole ecosystem. Okay, so what's next for RPM? What is in the future? What do we see? And Mohit asks here, I would like to take his question now,
Yeah.
because
Sure.
it is a very interesting. When groups go bigger,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to have different directions. So what is it for RPM? And I'll just swing in Mohit's question in between that.
Yeah, Jitesh, with RPM, we have tried to create an ecosystem first, rather than a community or a group. So what we're trying to create is the micro leaders at the city stages. So
Okay.
every chapter has a team of the leads and the admins and so on, and that's all again are something that is changing every year. So at
Okay.
every year the lead riders change. The new riders come and take up the charge, and they become the group admin and so on. And
Okay.
as a structured organization, our primary focus from this point of time, of course, growth is one, because we are moving to more cities every day. We receive a lot of messages, emails from different cities, that when are you guys coming to Ranchi? When are you guys coming to Chandigarh, and other localities as well. So
Absolutely.
our idea and our focus at the moment is, of course, expansion, and the more we grow in. So our key focus has always been about, of course, biking and food is one thing from where we started. But the core focus of RPM is to bring out biker from every motorcycle owner. So it sounds
Okay.
pretty easy, but it's a very complex kind of a situation, that everyone is a
I understand.
motorcycle owner, but to bring
Yeah.
out a biker out of it, it's actually a task. So this is what we are currently focusing at. This question actually just takes me a little one or two step back, just to make our viewers understand. uh,
Yeah,
so whenever you buy a bike, you aim and you wish to be a part of one or another community, a group, a micro group, or a set of people. And a lot of groups have a lot of conditions nowadays, that you need to have X kind of experience. You need to, especially for example, the superbike category, across
exactly,
India, a
exactly.
lot of conditioning. But when you put up these kind of a conditions, you also need to think, then if everyone will set those rules, who's gonna train those people to to classify to your criteria that you guys have created?
Yeah,
So no one will let you ride your bike, no matter which bike have you taken. Then you will form a small 3 4 people group, and you will go haywire from one position to another, roaming around, and with not so adequate knowledge about super bikes, the safety gears,
absolutely.
traffic rules, and the mechanism of the machine altogether. So
Yeah,
we put our focus onto that. We want our riders to be educated. We want them to be informed. We want them to
okay,
be very responsible, on or off the road, both ways.
makes sense.
Our small contribution is like, for example, in amid of this Corona crisis, there are no official rides that are happening across
Yeah,
chapters. So our
absolutely.
entire 16 chapters are not riding at the moment,
Wow.
officially. So
I think
so
that's a
we
great step. Yes, that's a great step.
Yes. So we our motto, our basic pillars are, ride, respect, and responsibility. So ride is something that we always do on Sundays, weekdays, and whatever occasions that we get. But respect and responsibilities are the two core essentials that we weaved into the ecosystem that we created. That every biker has some sort of pedestrians, bikers, car, anyone for that extent, anyone on the road, you have to have a sense of responsibility towards them. Respect is something that everyone, this entire humanity has should,
Yes,
I mean should thrive upon. So
absolutely.
respecting people despite of their bike category, their experience, their age, their experience and all that stuff. So these are three key ingredients of RPM, Jitesh.
Awesome. In fact, rightly touched on those points. If the newbies, for example, if you somebody has bought into a new bike or got into this riding culture, who trains them? Because there is no formal or official training, mechanism in India in place where you can take riders through a course, for example. Of course, there are training academies
Right,
for super bikes and sports bike for sure, and now they have hardly have started riding academies for cruisers as well. But I think besides that, there
right,
except the learning schools, there's nothing in India as of now which exists to which educates riders, to graduate them slowly to a bigger bike. I think you're doing a great job there.
right.
And
In
what
fact, in
what
fact, in fact, we
I yeah, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, please tell me.
I'm saying, in
So
fact,
I
that's
was
a
saying,
great space.
okay, okay.
That's a great space to
Can
be,
you?
in fact, and to motivate these riders.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in
Okay.
fact, just to deep dive into this, Jitesh, training a biker is a different ball game altogether. But the major I would say essentials of biking is actually still not widely spread here in India.
Yeah.
All these people go, and with all the money that they have, they go to the showrooms, they book their bikes, they purchase bikes, and there is a very little knowledge about all the the safety mechanism that comes along, should come along with all these powerful machines. And
Absolutely.
I have seen people riding bikes like Hayabusa in their leather boots, in their
I can
normal sports shoes and all that.
I can relate to you. Anybody can walk into a showroom today and get a Hayabusa and go out there and do something.
Yes, in fact,
You're right.
I myself is a product of same group, Jitesh. When I started off, I also did not had an adequate knowledge about what to buy, why to buy, and from where to buy, and all that stuff. So at RPM, what we are trying to do is that we are making an attempt to engage new age bikers, and we take them a step back before they purchase their dream machine. We try and educate them about the safety mechanism first.
Okay.
What is a helmet? What kind of a helmet? uh, Price point, whether the brand matters or the safety certification matters. I mean, a lot of team members of RPM, Akul is one of the co-founder. He has been making a lot of videos about, how to choose the right helmet, and
Wow.
what is ISI rating, what is Sharp, what is NEL, and what is ISO, and all that stuff. So
Absolutely.
our all the small attempts that we make, not just hardcore towards the biker, but also towards the general public. In all these 3 years, I think we have taken more than 15 initiatives till date.
Okay.
To pioneer each one of them is the biker salute. That is India's one of the most iconic ride that
Absolutely.
happens every year in association with border security forces. Uh, and
Lovely.
then the turtle ride that happened with Delhi Traffic Police and Haryana Traffic Police.
Yeah.
We did an awesome campaign for people staring at women. We called it Ghuna Bandkar. It was widely spread.
Yeah.
It was an initiative whereas
So
we spread, and yeah, we sent close to 10,000 to 12,000 stickers free of cost to women, using that stickers on their bag, on their car windshields, their mobile, and all.
wow.
And it just simply stated that, Ghuna Band Kar. So the moment someone
Wow.
reads about it, and it just strikes their mind. And super riders meet. We recently, the last event before Corona stuff happened, was the pledge meetup that we had in association with Noida Police, whereas
Okay.
the senior superintendent of police came in, and he made 200 odd bikers from across Delhi and NCR swear by to follow the traffic rules.
Oh wow.
And
Yeah, I
it
missed
was a
that
great
ride.
meet. Yeah,
I
it was
missed
a
that
great
ride.
meetup. So all these events are actually are not meant for publicity. It actually helps us
Yeah.
connect with a lot of bikers from Delhi and NCR. Do the connection building. Try and influence them. Try and inspire them to do whatever they are doing, but from a safer perspective.
Absolutely. I think you're doing great job in terms of these getting these bikers together and giving them a platform to help them starting from riding to get the gear. I think the whole journey of a rider from getting the first bike or a scooty to all the way graduating him to and inspiring him to get the super bike. Because that's the end goal of most of the bikers. Because one day I gonna buy a Ducati or a Harley or a Kawasaki. That's always a dream of every biker to graduate to a level where they can they can buy those dream machines. And I'll tell you a bit about how this whole story fits in what we have been doing in Asteride, in fact.
Right,
So
right.
so what Asteride is all about. It's a platform where
Hmm.
all these communities like RPM exist today.
Hmm.
So what we are
Right.
trying to do is we're trying to enable these communities by giving them tools which can allow them to do these rides better. So we are giving you
Okay.
much, like I'm talking about in general in communities all over the world. So we are
Hmm.
helping them, grow in terms of numbers and get them tools where they can communicate and they can do much more than that. So they can,
Of course.
track all the members coming in those chapters. We can manage multiple smaller groups rides in different chapters. So the ride planning process, which is sometimes most critical step in planning, especially multi-day rides or single-day rides,
Right.
for example.
Right.
So today, what we have is WhatsApp or Facebook, groups. So what we
Right.
thought is it needs a platform where you can easily at least create these rides where everything
Hmm.
around rides is automatically captured in terms of routes, in terms of weather, in terms of who is leading, what is the kind of formation we are riding in terms of checking the gear
Right.
if everybody has the right gear, and tools for multi-day rides, for example. So today it's all mixed up. Every
Right.
group have their own rules. Every group wants to follow something else. So there is no standard protocol, I would say, in a way. So what we have created
Right.
is
Right.
made a
Right.
standard
Right.
protocol where you can create all these beautiful ride cards and share among your people, among the riders, in
Right.
fact. And then these riders can, see exactly what is going with the ride, who is the admin of the ride,
Hmm.
who is doing who is where to start from, what the route gonna be, if you want to join somewhere in between, what those pit stops are, how
Right.
the weather gonna be on those pit stops if you're doing a multiple day ride. So we just try to
Mhm.
minimize this distraction in terms of planning of a ride. So
No,
I think it will be a great help for a lot of groups out there in the world where this planning part goes missing because a lot of people don't even know what to do, what to prepare for. So
right.
that's one of the things we have done. And also after preparing and making your ride, how do you share
Mhm.
and how do you get feedback on attendance, for example? You know,
Right.
today most of our guys use WhatsApp, for that
Mhm.
mechanism. So you know
Right.
how it works. I don't have to tell you.
Of course.
But
Right.
it's very difficult to manage, especially in larger groups. I'm part of a group called ROT, so we have 150 members. So members
Right.
are scattered all around Delhi NCR. Some are in Noida, some are in Gurgaon, some are in Delhi. So it's not possible always to go and do a bigger ride. So what we'll end
Right.
up doing is smaller rides in different zones. So Noida guys will go to Jewar,
Hmm.
Gurgaon guys will go to KMP or towards Murthal, and then Delhi guys
Right.
may go somewhere else. So
Right.
you can create multiple groups, multiple rides within that group, and monitor also who is going where instead of
Mhm.
creating few rides on a same platform for WhatsApp or for anything else. So we just try to simplify, at different
Mhm.
intersections of a ride, and then of course we'll keep adding more stuff to that. And you can know who all are riding with you, who have said yes, who are showing up on your map. So eventually we'll add up group tracking, so you track your group completely on a screen. So where are the guys in the morning, who all are coming, who is filling up petrol at nearby station. You don't have to call everybody. And with COVID, I think it becomes a
Right.
very interesting case to use Asteride because you can limit the number of riders on
Mhm.
each ride. So what we have been seeing
Right.
recently, there are a lot of groups which are still riding in large numbers, and it becomes a
Right.
very scary situation for these groups because you want to ride together, but still want to keep the social distancing in place. So what we have done is
Right.
created a
Right.
smaller feature where you can do multiple rides and you can limit those rides to number of people can join those rides. So
Right. Right.
that will change the game in terms of how we doing rides together. And then all
In
these
fact,
groups, I don't know if
yeah.
you had
Yeah. Yeah.
chance to
Please.
look at the Asteroids website or what we're trying to do there.
I.
But
I did check it out.
okay, so
Yeah.
I'll be happy to hear from you if you have any questions about Asteroid. Otherwise, I have one or
So
two more questions to throw you.
I would first of all to begin I would like to congratulate you from the entire RPM family because the task that Asteroid is actually doing, it's a very chaotic task, as you very rightly elaborated that what are the pain points for all the biker communities or groups to manage ride, assemble
Yeah,
riders, ensuring that they are riding safe and all that stuff. So,
absolutely.
I had always been a firm believer of entrepreneurship. It's people like you and your team that uses the technology in the best form available at the moment to facilitate people. Of course, the money and monetization and all that stuff is bound to happen. That will eventually happen. But
Yeah,
the creating value in terms of not just for your own personal bank account, but for the people whom the brand actually serves. That is
absolutely.
very important from the entrepreneur point of view. So I would congratulate the entire team of
Thank you so
Astride
much.
for doing this. I
Thank you
mean,
so much.
I from business perspective, I know that it has got a tremendous scope. A lot of people that actually suffers in organizing these kind of a rides. And what I would also like to add on that with all these small I know that technology can be complex, but as I believe that the technologies are not meant for front end. The technology is actually the back end. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter
absolutely.
what are the ingredients that the chef has actually put into a dish. All that matters is that beautifully looking dish on your table. So
Absolutely.
as a chef behind this product, I think the people, in fact, I would request people, that the WhatsApp and all that, traditional ways of communicating and organizing stuff is
Yeah.
something different, but traditional way se thoda move karke you need to try out technology, that how beautifully it could assist you to do what you guys are aiming at, and trying to relive
Absolutely.
your passion in more systematic manner.
Yeah, I'll in fact give you a snippet about how we are trying to do this in terms of
Right,
Asteride. So you know what
right,
happens? You remember we get a boarding pass when you fly a plane in a plane. So you
right,
don't carry a
right,
ticket,
right,
you
right,
carry a boarding pass, which is let's say
right.
a short version of your ticket in a way. So what you do on
Okay.
Asteride, after you create these rides, you generate these automatic tickets, ride tickets, and these
Right.
tickets are shared with everybody. Either you want to share in your group, so that ticket
Okay.
goes only to your group members, or it can go to
Hmm.
public to for anybody to see those. So more people
Okay.
can join, see rides firstly, and join those rides. So they'll have to request to the admin, okay, I'm like riding this bike, I want to join. So automatic request will go to the admin. So what we're trying to do is remove the barriers. So from each
Okay.
club, like today they are operating in silos. So we'll give a platform to each of these clubs to for riders, in fact, to look at more
Hmm.
clubs around them, to find new places to go, new riders to
Right.
ride with, new clubs to ride with.
Right.
So this riding ticket
Right.
is game changer. It will just it will sit on the front of the app, and you just have to click on
Hmm.
that, and you will see exactly what is happening in that ride, how many people are going, what is the route of that ride, what kind of weather is going to be on that ride, and if you like it, you have to accept or decline, or you can join,
Right.
request an admin to join that ride. So exactly
Uh,
as you said, it is not WhatsApp, it is not whatever we use today, and it's a completely different
right.
technology which we have built to just to
Right.
share and create these rights. And as you
Hmm.
rightly said, you know entrepreneurship is risky. So
Right.
we wanted to do something really impactful in this space. And what I
Hmm.
believe personally is technology is just a medium. It's a tool to enable something.
Right.
Eventually, what you see
Of course.
on Instagram also, we're using it right now. So it's just a technology. It's
Right.
a tool for us to communicate with between us and between people. More people around us. So what we believe Asteride
Right.
is a platform. It's just an enabler. So it enables all the communities around the
Right.
world, to come on a platform and talk to each other. They can grow together, each
Right.
other with each other. People can explore these awesome clubs and rides happening around them, and it's becoming
Right.
difficult
Right.
nowadays to find a platform where you can do that. So that's one of the use cases, one of the missions for us to ride for now.
I know these small features actually pull in a lot of interest of people like me, for example, that that how intuitively you can probably be a part of a community, how interrogately you can probably find out the right brotherhood for you, because I had been seeing all these traditional mediums when I started super biking, reaching out to each and every group. What is your criteria? How could I let how could you let me in? When are you riding? Where are you riding? What are the essentials and all that stuff? So I think those are the pain points that actually reminded me of my journey almost 3 years back. I think
Exactly.
I'm very sure that it would be very helpful to the bikers and at large, and not just the bikers, because my bikers are the a micro component of the entire system that you have created. I assume that it would be a very fruitful product for the communities like us, city level groups, clubs, and in fact, the company owned clubs as well. It would be pretty interesting to see that how exactly your product works.
Absolutely. In fact, we haven't built this for when we were building Asteroid, we were very clear that this is for everybody. This is not brand
Right.
specific. This is not bike specific. Anybody owning a scooty can create a group on Asteroid. Anybody owning a superbike can create a group on Asteroid. So there is no restriction
Mhm.
on who can come on board and who can do these rides on Asteroid. So there's completely open platforms for everybody. And I think
Right.
what is also interesting, as you rightly said, that it's hard to find the right clubs and groups around you. How do you choose them? What is the
True.
criteria of choosing those groups? And the same goes for riders.
True.
If everybody is joining you, you should also know a little bit about that rider. What is the bike he's riding? A little bit. What kind
Right.
of rides he have done in the past. So both informations are visible on Asteroid now. So you can look at person's
Right.
profile. You can look at his road book, how many rides he have done,
Right.
how many bikes he owns,
Right.
all what kinds of ride he has done, all that. And also it gives him
Hmm.
opportunity to look at the club if that club has kind of people he wants to ride with, and he can also read about
Right.
the
Right.
club in the bio, for example.
Right.
So we've tried to cover as much as we can, but as a startup, we'll have to go out and of course get feedback from people like you who have been there and doing all this for a long time, and make sure the open pain areas which will still be left out, like we can capture them eventually.
Right, right. No,
Do
in
that.
fact, we will try and extend all whatever support we could. We would love to see action happening into this particular field. It's pretty important. All the points that you and I discussed, I'm sure a lot of viewers that are currently joining in must be understanding that once in a lifetime they must have felt the same sort of issues, or have gone through the same similar kind of issues while finding a right brotherhood for them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And these are the problems
Yeah,
which we have,
yeah,
we have been facing ourselves. It's not like the whole
right,
idea of Asteride was that we were facing a lot of problems in terms of, our own rights. And we thought like, let's
right.
find a solution first. And then when we looked out for solutions, we didn't find any in India.
Right, right,
So
right,
we just thought, why not to solve this problem on our own and then see where it goes. So we've taken that plunge.
right,
So we are
right,
excited to go live. We'll start our beta testing next week onwards, and
right.
everything goes fine. We should be out and live in mid of July somewhere. So that's what these days keeping us busy. So hopefully I'll come back to you again, and we'll ask you to give us some feedback on early feedback, in fact, on the product, and of course we'll take it from there. And
Any, any,
I have
any,
just
any time we would be.
Uh, of course, thank you. We have two
Yeah,
questions. One is for you and one is
yeah,
for me. One is from
uh,
Mohit again. I think both from Mohit. See, why
right.
doesn't RPM launch its own line of gear? So I think Mohit knows the answer, but you should please tell him.
Mohit sir knows that that one should not do each and every stuff that is possible in this universe. There are different fields. Those are meant for people who could do it. So I mean, people, whatever little is happening here into the industry at the moment, we are fine with it. We have seen that in the past 2 years, a lot of startups, a lot of Indian companies have came in to provide affordable biking gears to the riders here in India.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
we are pretty much excited and fine with this progression that is happening.
Yeah.
Getting into that domain and manufacturing it, for that Mohit sir first has to resign and come and join us, uh, join us on the board while we create this startup. But as I said, we are fine as far as the affordability comes into action. A lot of uh, what I believe from the medium that you and I are interacting, what I believe that these companies should also do that, apart from, of course, whatever manufacturing they are doing, of course they are supposed to sell, but along with selling the product, they need to have a very clear focus about educating buyers to prefer the gears first. In fact, even before the motorbike planning happening at their
Absolutely.
end, they need to push and position this thought that your bike actually comes along with some additional budget that you need to put it into for your own personal safety. So if
Absolutely.
in case these guys, I would not name it again. As I always say, I'm a marketing guy. We do not give free mileage to any company, but
Yeah.
a lot of companies that are making affordable, good, sturdy helmets, making good quality gears, at least good quality gears for low cc bikes. Of
Yeah.
course, I think they are doing pretty good job. And I would like to thank to the people who are actually listening to me, viewing you and I, or even if they are not. But guys, please understand that your biking starts right from you buying your gear. So your helmet
Yes.
matters, your jacket matters. Biking, yeah, everything will look so cool, but a guy fully decked up from head to toe actually makes a lot of sense, especially when you fall. The moment
Absolutely.
you fall, each and every stuff will start making a lot of sense.
And just echo that, one more time. In fact, the importance of gear, it's so highly understated in India, especially. that
Right.
people don't even understand the importance of ride gear. They think sometimes, and it's I think you're right. It's the duty of the riding gear manufacturers as well as the brands who are selling these motorcycles out. That these are the
Right.
dangerous machines, and the kind of gear you should get with those machines is also very
Right.
very important. In fact, I
Right.
had accident in 2018, which was like one of the serious accidents of my life, and it was not even 100 meters from my house. So it
Okay.
can
Oh.
happen anywhere. So all the gear, all the
Right.
time, ATD, GTD is very, very, very crucial. It's not just for being there. It's
Right.
there for your own safety. And
Right.
and rightly, Mohit has agreed to join your board. So
Mhm.
and even I remember, from Mohit case also, when that accident happens, it's the gear which saves you eventually.
Right.
It can reduce the impact of an accident considerably. And
Right.
the right gear, it's very important, as you rightly said, to educate riders in terms of what to buy.
Right.
What is the important, for example, in helmets, what kind of certification you're looking at, what kind of
Right.
materials you're looking at. It's a great way to educate riders
Right.
on those
So
terms.
in
So
fact,
agree on.
when we talk about biking as a passion of ours, the moment you take over the keys of your favorite bike from your showroom, you risk your life at 50% immediately. The world becomes 1:1.
Yeah,
What actually increases your chances of staying alive is called safety gears. So we need to try and increase that percentage of 50%, trying to make it 70, 75. The better gears you buy, better decked up you are, the more chances of you are to come out of any critical situation. And you and I,
absolutely.
and a lot of people have seen it. Fatal accident happen, crashes happen, and in fact, the mindset, even if a lot of people actually have biking gears at their place, they are pretty educated and informed about it.
Yeah,
However, they take it lightly for nearby rides. वो घर से यहाँ तक ही तो जाना है, and I'm just coming back. I'm just
exactly.
going to 200 meters and so on. So that actually is something that, again, the moment you put in the key into your bike, you are again 50 to 50 ratio of your life is at stake. So
Exactly.
this is my ideology. So it sounds very funny. Even if I had to go nearby, I never go into my jeans or normal jacket, even to get my bike fueling done, to a petrol pump station that is just 3 kilometers away from my home. Almost 3 weeks back, I went into a fully decked up gear, and people were like staring at me that amid of all this corona crisis, Bhagwan, tum kahan se aa gaye ho? Matlab, all this stuff, and what are you doing on road? So,
Yeah,
but actually, that gives me a sense of safety to myself.
absolutely.
Put your hands on your bike handle without gloves. It actually tries, and it actually scares me up. Whenever I put my bare hands, my naked hands onto my
Absolutely.
handle, it gives me a different feel altogether. So that's my request to everyone, that of course you have bought, in case you have not bought gears, try do the budgeting and mathematics and pick one. In case you have already have it, try and start using it on regular
Use
basis.
it.
These
That's
both are
absolutely.
both are essential.
It's very, very, in fact, critical. In fact, I remember one of the rides we were coming from Agra or somewhere towards from UP, and then there was an accident on D&D somewhere, and the guy
Right.
just brushed his hand, maybe on the road or something. So if that guy was wearing gloves, he would have saved his hand that day. But eventually,
Right.
unfortunately, he was not wearing that. So it, as simple as hand gloves, is such an important aspect of a rider, which people
Right.
take it very very for granted sometimes. And I think they should, as Gaurav rightly said, they should have at least a budget when, as you also said, when they're buying a new
Right.
bike, they should set aside some money to buy, if not best, the good, and
Right.
the gear which fits their riding style. If they're going for
Right.
an off-roading bike, so the gear should have that gear, which is important for that sort of ride, and it's
Right.
very very essential. So I have
Right.
one more question, Atul, like regarding RPM here. Again, like there's some people may not be very, what is the joining process? How do one becomes a member of RPM, for example? What is the process where you can join RPM?
Uh, so process, Jitesh, is again digitally driven. What you need to do is you need to go onto our website, that is www.therpmindia.com. You need to find your
Okay.
chapter given there. You click on your chapter, you fill in your basic details, and you will be added directly from there to the WhatsApp group. So it's a digital process. The moment you fill in the form, you will be given a website, WhatsApp group link through which you
Okay.
can join the chapter in your city. In case you
So
do
lovely.
not find a local chapter down there, you need to write an email that okay, we are 3-4 people into this particular city, and we are looking forward to join RPM. We initiate our process of creating a local chapter from
So
the
lovely.
interest that we receive.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's that simple as that. Okay.
Yes, it's pretty
And
simple.
I'll just echo what Mohit and Gaurav says here again. Like if people like they do mock us sometimes when we are wearing a
Right,
riding jacket in summer, hot summer day, and then people, I think they don't understand the risks we take when we ride a motorcycle in
right,
anywhere. In fact, I don't care it's a road or it's maybe a highway somewhere. So the risk
right,
of being on a bike is it's immense, and the gear
right.
is our first line of defense
True.
to avert, or if in case there's an accident, we can save ourselves from that. And I think
Right, right.
it's very very important for people to start taking gear very seriously now, and I
Very
think
seriously.
platforms like yours is doing amazing job in educating these guys in terms of what to buy, how to buy, and all those things.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Jitesh. Yeah.
So once again, Atul, thank you so much for coming in, joining us online today. It was great talking to you, and I'm sure,
Same.
like in coming months and years, RPM will grow leaps and bounds in India, outside India, hopefully as well. And I'm sure a lot of young, newer generation of bikers can get inspired and get into the real biking scene.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
thank you
Thank you
once
so much.
again.
Thanks, Jitesh, for such lovely and encouraging words. And I'm glad that you thought of bringing us to your platform, discussing all this stuff. So I'm really thankful to you to invite, and I look forward to a lot of progressive discussions around biking, safe biking, and group biking here in India. And I'm
Absolutely.
pretty excited, and I congratulate you and the entire team at Asteride, with your journey that is about to begin.
Thank you so much. We can't do anything without your support. It's for the communities, and we're building it together. All right.
We are always there for any stuff that actually falls aligned with our right, respect, and responsibility
Absolutely.
basics. We are always up down there.
I look forward. Thank you so much for your kind words again, Atul.
Same here.
See you.
Thank you, Jitesh.
See
Take
you.
care. Yeah.
Thank you. You
Thank
too.
you,
Bye.
everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, sparing some time.
Yeah.
Balwinder Kaur, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. A lot of people, Mohit, sir. Thank you,
Mohit,
each and
for
everyone.
sure.
And look forward to see you guys once again.
Yeah. See you guys. Thank you so
Thanks.
much. Bye.